Present.
Jake Thompson.
Here.
And I believe that's it for now, correct, Andy?
That's, I got five. Yeah, that's all I have so far.
All right, and that
I
Pam
was
Alley.
here.
Oh, okay, Pam Alley is
I
also
don't know where I am, but I'm here.
okay.
You might need to turn your camera, switch to, if you have two different camera views on your device, you might need to switch it because we see your tabletop.
I know, I don't know why.
That's okay.
All right, so present are Eric Gasparini, Phil Crossman, Jake Thompson, and Pam Alley. Donald Poole is absent. So item number 2 is approve and sign treasurer's warrant number 42. So moved.
Second.
Phil Crossman seconds the motion. Eric Gasparini votes yes.
Yes.
Phil Crossman votes yes.
Yes.
Jake Thompson votes yes. Pam, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right. Approve agenda.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
I move we approve
Okay.
agenda.
Approve agenda. All right, Phil Crossman made a motion to approve the agenda. Eric Gasparini seconds it. Eric Gasparini votes yes. How does Phil Crossman vote?
Yes.
Jake Thompson,
Yes.
Pam Alley.
Yes.
All right, seeing no communications and no speakers on the floor, and we'll go on to old business, airport extension.
Just wanted to, that's a lot of feedback. Share a letter that we got from Kevin Waters at Penobscot Island Air. If you recall that we were waiting on an estimate for the surveying or the property lines. So for the estimate as of now, just a verbal contract price he had gotten was for $7,000, which is more at this time that they are not going to be able to help contribute towards that cost of the project. Kevin has mentioned in his letter that he's secured and agreed to provide labor, equipment, and site work expertise to accomplish the project if approved. So it just takes us back to what you had voted a few months ago, an amount not to exceed, which I believe was $3,500 for the survey. So just bringing it back again. This letter just came in this week. So I don't know if you want to talk about the possibility of approving and funding the whole survey work. Again, right now it's just a verbal price or estimate to have that completed.
I don't know if I
Go ahead,
Phil. Oh, I don't know if I so much have a problem with, coming up with the additional $3,500, especially if he's going to provide some assistance otherwise. But, it brings up the other point of if he doesn't have funding for the survey, does he have funding necessary to actually extend the runway?
Right.
Well, he says he does.
Is that what you got from that letter? I got that he can help with the surveying of the land, not with.
I thought he had made a commitment to provide the labor and the work earlier on in these negotiations last year.
Yeah, his letter to us says we have agreed to provide labor, equipment, and site work expertise. So the only thing that's not listed in there would be the material and then the survey.
Is he
Yeah,
gonna?
and I'm very much in favor of going ahead and appropriating the additional $3,500. He's been expressing concerns about safety for a year or better now, and the safety issue is in fact the length of the runway. And so, given the degree to which we depend on him for so much, and the degree to which he provides it, I'd be very much in favor of appropriating the additional $3,500. But it would do to clear up the understanding that he is going to provide the labor, and everything but material to do the extension.
And Andy, you said this morning that we could probably take that money out of legal services. That
We have
budget.
I mean, our budget has the professional services line, and we have legal and engineering service lines within that kind of item. Right now, there's a remaining balance between the two of those lines within that of just shy of 12,000. I don't know with the way that the courts are right now if we should expect any movement on any of the current items that are in court. I think we got the one outstanding tax question, and then there's the land use violation issue just to wrap up. That's not in court, but just to wrap that up. So I don't know if we should anticipate too many more legal fees at this point. So the balance of just under 12,000, that would leave still about 5,000 left with what we have currently.
Would you rather take it out of professional services though, or?
Well, so yeah, you have your professional services kind of department or budget there, and within that, remember we broke down further for legal and engineering.
Okay.
So we aren't.
Okay.
We could just take it generally out of that.
All right. I move we appropriate an amount not to exceed $3,500 from the professional service line.
You want
Second.
to clarify that and maybe look back. I guess I'm looking back on that last vote, just to make it very clear that a total cost of not to exceed 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. I'll amend my motion to say I move we appropriate an amount not to exceed $7,000 to do surveying for a runway extension from the professional services line.
Second.
All right, Phil Crossman seconds the motion. Is there any more discussion?
I just had one thing. I know they charge by the hour. Is there any way that Kevin could fly him out here at his cost, so that would, keep it down a little bit, so they're not charging us for, 2 hours of ferry rides every time when they're doing this job? I mean, I think that's the least he could contribute.
Yeah, I can talk to him about it. He also, as well, in this letter mentioned the possibility of federal possible grant potentially for the federal level for aviation airports, private and public. So I was going to follow up with him on that as well. Which some of the stuff or the material costs might be included in if we can find a grant to help do that.
Yeah, I just thought, I mean, I know I've had some survey work done and they charge right from the time they leave the house, wherever it is. So, I mean, if we could shorten that up by, 2 hours every day they come out here, it would save the town, a few hundred. It could be, a few $1,000s or a few $100s, but I mean, I would think he could maybe shuttle them back and forth for us.
Right. I'll talk to him.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, I'll call for a vote. Eric Gasparini votes yes. Phil
Yes.
Crossman. Phil Crossman
Yes.
votes yes. Jake Thompson.
Yes.
Pam Alley.
Yes.
All right, the motion carries. All right, new business, excuse me. Fiscal year 21 annual town meeting. We need to change the date.
Well, I think at this point it's safe to only safe just to postpone for now with a future date TBD.
Right.
You saw the elections, the state elections were pushed from June to July. So I wouldn't try and even guess right now, when we might try to do the town meeting. So at this point, if you just want to postpone it, we'll maybe know a little bit more towards the end of the month in terms of, any extensions on any of the existing orders the state has. So at this point, I would just recommend postponing for now.
Yeah, I move we postpone the annual town meeting.
Second.
Bill Crossman seconds the motion. Any more discussion? All right, hearing none. Eric Gasparini votes yes. Phil Crossman.
Yes.
Jake Thompson. Jake, you still there?
Yes, I was on mute, sorry.
Pam Alley.
Yes.
All right, the motion carries. May 1st, fiscal year 20 tax payment.
So that due date for the second half of the fiscal year 20 payments forthcoming. You'll probably notice a lot of other towns have looked to to extend the due date for that second half payment or even their first payment, depending on where their fiscal years are. So just want to throw out there to you to consider the possible extension into maybe July 1st. And not allowing interest on that May 1st payment to accrue in that 2-month period. That would just shift the May 1st to July 1st potentially, if that's something you'd want to consider.
That seems reasonable to me.
Yeah,
So basically, it's just a grace period. You're still supposed to pay May 1st, but you won't have any interest till July 1st. Is that what we're saying?
Correct. Yeah, no interest, no penalty. The tax lien period, as far as we know, would still be the same, which is within 12 months after commitment. So those usually go out sometime in mid to late July. So that, as far as we know, that calendar would still apply. And we know that we can change the effective date when someone makes the payment for that May 1st, originally due payment. So the interest wouldn't be there. Any payments that weren't made for the November 1st deadline, that interest presumably would still accrue as that payment had already been missed through that period.
I move we extend the deadline for fiscal year 20 tax payments to July 1st, 2020.
second,
Phil Crossman seconds the motion. Any more discussion? All right, hearing none. Eric Gasparini votes yes.
yes,
Phil Crossman votes yes. Jake Thompson,
Yes.
Pam Alley.
Yes.
Okay, liquor license renewal for both Skoll and Nightingale.
Yeah, so these are just renewals of the previous year's license. You saw the state does have an executive order to extend it, but where we were meeting today, I thought I would put it on there. I understand one of them already submitted the application that's unsigned. The state just said once it gets signed by the elected officials to send the signed copy in. So, but we just put them on this agenda.
Okay. I move we approve the liquor license renewal for Skoll.
second,
Bill Crossman seconds the motion. Eric Gasparini votes yes. Bill Crossman.
yes,
Jake
Yep.
Thompson. Jake
Yes.
Thompson votes yes. And Pam Alley.
Yes.
All right. And I move we approve the liquor license renewal for the Nightingale.
second,
Phil Crossman seconds the motion. Eric Gasparini votes yes. Phil Crossman. Phil Crossman votes yes. Jake Thompson.
Yes.
Jake Thompson votes yes. Pam Alley.
Yes.
Okay. D, Downtown Planning Services work order.
So as you may recall, we've already submitted a couple of grants related to the downtown project, both ones for the municipal part MPI with the DOT, and then the other one was a letter of intent rather for Northern Borders. There's at least another one that we're also looking to apply for through the EDA. So the work order that we have is to be able to pay the engineering firm for the work associated with helping put those grants together. It would include the estimates, sketches, technical descriptions of the work, include attending public meetings, as well as staff meetings to gather the rest of the information they might need to be able to put that information out for us. They'd also develop a preliminary engineering report that could accompany the grant applications that are to come. The estimate or the work order for that is $25,000. One of the things I was hoping we could do was include that that cost in one of the grants as part of a match. You know, and approving it ahead of time means, in those expenses incurred ahead of time means that they don't get included as part of a match. At this point, where this is related to the downtown in Main Street, where that's a state aid road, I'd recommend that you consider funding that amount through the road reserve to help get that work going and see if we can get those grant applications.
I move approval of the downtown planning services work order from the road reserve line.
Second,
Bill Crossman seconds the motion. Any more discussion or any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Eric Gasparini votes yes. Bill Crossman?
yes.
Jake Thompson?
Yes.
Pam Alley?
yes,
All right, the motion carries. Number 9, fiscal year 21 budget review.
You want to, we have, I think, probably at least one more meeting before you guys are able to wrap up, you know, generally with the time that you're able to put in for a meeting. Is you want to try and set a date for that to try and get through the rest of that. It might also include the need to look back potentially. There may or may not be a couple you know, revenue changes that we're still waiting to kind of see. I know revenue sharing is a possibility to change. Our banking services contract that was for 3 years is also up, and I know the interest rates are not where they were 3 years ago, so I don't know what that might look like. So there's a couple small things I think that might change that we may or may not want to look back through to see if there's other ways that we could responsibly bring some of the other parts of the budget down. So at least one, if not maybe 2 meetings.
Okay, do you want to schedule one for next week? Maybe, well, to next Tuesday?
If that works for the rest of you.
Yep, okay with me.
Okay, let's meet, let's plan on Tuesday, next 5:30.
fine with me.
Okay, great.
Is there any way I can get my budget book from the town office if I just come up there?
Yeah, if we're here still every day during the work week, so if you do that, and if the warrants aren't signed, we can have you sign that, and we'll need those that are on the island to be able to pop in at some point to sign the liquor license renewals as well.
Okay.
Andy, you sent the budget sheets in a zip file a while ago, right?
I did, and you were able to open it on your computer, but not your iPad.
No, I did. I was able to finally. I had to.
Oh, the different email.
Yeah, no,
accounts.
I'm fine. I got it open. So there are 33 pages. So that's the entire budget, right?
There's, I think, 33 probably PDFs. There's multiple pages within each PDF. There should be.
Right.
Okay.
I can bring you
Yes.
your budget book, Pam. If
I'm
you'd like,
sorry?
I can bring you your budget book if you'd like a hard copy.
Yeah, why don't you do that, Eric, if you don't mind? Thank you.
It's still up in the general meeting room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, okay.
The only other
Okay.
thing related to the budget is we could talk more about it during the budget meeting, but there is, and I shared it with the email for today, the letter that came from the 4th of July committee indicating that they would like to see the $3,000 be allotted again. I believe I had it on the budget sheets as a request from them already, but they did have a letter that they sent this past week.
So does that require a motion?
No, not today,
Not right.
right now.
We already signed the contract. Well, I don't know if that was last month or 2 months ago. I can't remember anymore.
Right.
Time is starting to blur together.
We signed it before I went on vacation.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have anything to report on, Andy?
I'll just say, John, I did share with you the financial statements through March. I think most things look pretty good. We do have a couple road projects that we'd like to get to that I chose to push off for right now, given the stay-at-home order. I thought doing our part not to have more people out than are needed. If you feel that we should do that differently, let me know. And then I'll just say that the team's been doing, the public health team and the folks working with the EOC with Gabe and Pat and those that are supporting them have, I think, done a really great job. A lot of long days focused surprisingly only on that. So just like to say that they're doing a great job on all of that, pulling that together, and hopefully you're hearing some good things about the communications that are coming out. I think other than that, I don't have anything that jumps out to report in addition.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, they are. That team is doing a great job. Report of members. Does anyone have anything to report on?
I do think that we're doing remarkably well compared to the rest of the world. I think that a large part of that success is due to the team that you've assembled to address this crisis, and I'm really quite pleased with it. Andy, did you take a look at the camera down there at the fire station, and were you able to identify that Yahoo puts in an appearance every night?
It looks like it's more than just one person, if you can believe that. I did send a couple still shots to Arthur Smith, who's Dan's supervisor, as well as Dan. You know,
Arthur Smith is who?
Dan's supervisor.
Oh, yeah.
So they do have a couple of still shots that are have some identifiable features on the vehicles. And Dan, I think, comes back on duty Thursday and said he'd follow up with me on that. So there are some things that the video is able to capture that help identify the vehicles.
Okay, I hope we can get to the bottom of it, because at least one elderly resident who is already in a case of kind of extreme anxiety has had that anxiety boosted considerably by that noise every night.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else have anything? All right. In that case, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Bill Crossman seconds the motion. Eric Gasparini votes yes. Bill Crossman. Yes. Jake Thompson.
Yes.
Pam Alley.
Yes.
All right. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for logging in, and thank you, everyone who tuned in. Have a good evening.
Are we meeting that budget meeting? Got to be at 5:32.
Yes.
Okay.